Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Marina here, and you guys know that I'm always so excited to come in a new video. If it's your first time here, welcome. So glad to have you here. I hope you look through other content on this channel, and if it's something that interests you, that you would hit the subscribe button and join this amazing community that I have going. To my returning subscribers, welcome back guys. Always so nice when you guys stop by to watch content on this channel. It was a busy past week and I had no intentions of filming a video or recording anything for the channel this week. I just wanted to come and beg you guys that please, this girl needs to rest. If you guys notice, my voice is a bit husky because at some point it was like I was coming down with something and I started to sound a bit croaky. So I just wanted to take this weekend to just take a break and rest. But I woke up this morning, between yesterday and today, I had this idea. I just had these conversations in my head. So for those of you who have followed me from the beginning, I've told you guys before that before I used to call it a weird habit, but now I realize it's actually a superpower. One of my superpowers is that I can have a full conference by myself with myself. I can have a full conversation with myself, call myself out, advise myself, just basically have these loud conversations, not in my head. I can be talking and it's just me, So it still shocks my husband till tomorrow how you just hear talking, like full serious conversation, and it's only me. Anyway, in one of those my random conversations that I was having between yesterday and this morning, I just had this thing that was tugging at my heart, and I'm learning how to pay attention when I get those nudges like that. It just, more than half the time, I am convinced later that those tugs are actually for somebody. What I am thinking about, I need to say it to help somebody else. So that's why we're here. Everywhere that I have looked on social media this past week, people have been talking about, oh, we're at the end of one year, we're on the verge or the threshold of a new year. It's going to be new year, new me, and all those exciting things that we say. 2024 is going to be different. 2024 is going to be the year. Like, I hear those things all the time. And it makes me wonder, like, is 2024 really going to be different? Is 2024 going to be any different from what we saw in 2023? If yes, how? In what way is 2024 going to be different? In what way will my outcomes in 2024 be different? We have done a lot of talking. We have done a lot of declaring. I'm declaring, I'm speaking into my year, I'm speaking into this. But what are you doing to actually change your outcome in 2024, especially as it relates to the things that you have control over? If I'm going to be honest with you guys, which is what I do on this channel, I'm not going to come here and lie to you people. If I'm going to be sincerely honest, there were some parts of my life that, I did not like the way things were last year, 2022, and I joined the declaring camp. 2023 is going to be year. 2023, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to change this. But I'm looking back now and I see that some of those areas were worse in 2023. You know why? I did more talking than there was action. I did more talking than there was actual action. I did more talking than there was strategizing. I did more talking than there was plans put in place to consciously make sure that those outcomes were different. And I'm sitting here, December of 2023, thinking about what exactly are the things that worked well in 2023. Like I told you guys in the last video that I do a review like that. What were the things that worked well? Why did those things work well? Please bear in mind that I'm talking about the things that we have control over. It does not involve things like life and all of those things that we can't control. So please just understand the context of this conversation. What were the things I did differently? Why were those outcomes different? What can I continue to do in 2024 that worked well in 2023? And I realized that the areas where I experienced the most success were the areas where I put plans in place. Not just putting plans in place, I put measurable actions in place and I followed through with those actions. So I'm sitting here surrounded by all of this motivational talk about 2024 is the year, you're going to be great, you're going to be this, you're going to be all that. There are so many programs happening around us where we have gone to pray. This is going to be different. That is going to be different. But what is the plan? What is the strategy you have put in place to make sure that you get a different outcome in 2024? For some of you, when it comes to family life in Saskatoon this year, I heard the most number of separations, of divorce, of messy court cases in families. Messy cases. It means that we are still just talking and not acting. If families are still falling apart, what are we supposed to be doing differently to make sure that the outcomes with our families are different? For some of you, it is counseling you need. It's not prayer. You have prayed enough. It is counseling you need. It's professional help you need. For some people, it is mental evaluation you need to go for. It's not an insult. But I'm just saying that there may be underlying issues to why your patterns are not changing. Go and get the help that you need. Go for therapy. Go for counseling. If you need to pay, pay. We have to get comfortable paying to get the help that we need to make sure that our outcomes are genuinely different. We have to get comfortable with that, guys. As a community, as individuals, we really need to do better. The strategy has to change if 2024 will actually be different from 2023. Because it's going to break my heart if we come here December of 2024 and we're still seeing the same patterns repeat itself. Nothing is going to change if you're not putting conscious, consistent, and effective strategies in place to actually make sure your outcome is different for 2024. So if you're among those people who have written all your goals and your prayer points on paper and all you're going to do is pray, newsflash, there's a place for prayer and there's a place for action. There's a place for believing, there's a place for declaring. There's also the place of getting up to go out, to go and work those plans and give life to what you have prayed about. God is not a magician. He's a miracle worker, not a magician. There's a place for action. There's responsibility on you to influence your outcome for 2024. For some of you, career-wise, change of strategy is needed. The job market this 2023 showed up in ways that I did not envisage. I did not think that we will get to the point where even survival jobs were hard for people to get. Survival jobs became like gold. Careers became like stagnant. It was a lot easier to go from one job to another job in Canada. But now I'm seeing people really struggle to switch jobs. It's not your first job. You have Canadian experience. You have been here a while. It was tough for some of those people to get jobs. It was tough. Like the market was funny. So if you're using the same strategies to say, I'm going to change my career, I'll just talk my way, I'll just slap something on my resume and get into this new job and go and negotiate fat salaries, that strategy has to change. In the last video, I talked about looking for other ways to save, to diversify my income, to find more ideas that I can use to generate an additional source of income. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it on the screen. And some of you were saying, please, when you find the business, let us know. But before we find that business, maybe the strategy that you need is to find how you can make yourself more valuable in the job that you're in. Maybe that's your next step. How can you make yourself more valuable in the job that you're in right now? How can you make yourself more visible with your current employer? In what way can you take advantage and start to harness stretch opportunities in your current role to help you develop as a professional? In what way? How can you start to aim for some high visibility projects so that you are seen? You're doing it because you have the skills and the expertise to do some of these projects. How can you make yourself more valuable? For some of you, that's where your thinking needs to go. Maybe it's not a change of job you need. You just need to change your strategy in your current role and make yourself more valuable. What opportunities can you take advantage of? What projects can you volunteer to be on? What projects can you shadow? What things can you piggyback on and just learn from the people who are doing it? Do you have those kind of opportunities? If you don't have opportunities in your current role to even advance in your career, then maybe that's where you want to start to consider a different employer. But if your strategy is the same, you will get the same outcome regardless of who your employer is. For some of you, you need to really sit down and figure out what exactly do you want from this career that you are in? What exactly do you want? For those of us who complain that, they are being discriminated against at work, guys, let me tell you the truth. I'm not going to be oblivious to the fact that microaggressions and discriminations and those things happen at work. It happens, I agree. But here's the thing. Value. When you create value, when you are a valuable addition to a team and the organization comes to the point or your manager comes to the point where you bring so much value that they are afraid to lose you, there are some things you will be shielded from. In some places, they give you anything because they know that, number one, maybe you don't have an option of where to go or you can be done without. People treat anyhow the things that can be done without. If you're giving real value on that team, there are some things that you will be shielded from. That's the truth. It might not be everybody's reality, but I have seen this thing play out too many times where, as you say, this is what I think we should do, people are saying, wrong with it, because they know that you will deliver value. So it's not just about getting that job. How are you contributing value? How are you adding value to that employer? A lot of us as immigrants run away from office politics because you have been told that, no, just go there, face your work. That's all that you need to do. My dear, maybe your strategy for 2024 will be to do your work, but raise your head. You are too neck deep into the work that you're doing. Your focus is laser straight to your job and nothing else. For some of you, you need to turn your head. You need to become more aware of the nuances that are at play at work. All that office politics that we run away from, time has come for us to embrace it full on. Full on. You need to pay attention. Who are the decision makers? Who are the influences of the decision makers? Where are those decisions made? How can I get myself closer to the point where these decisions are made? For some of you, it's just to become more friendly at work. Become more approachable at work. I know that there are many conversations, many points of view when it comes to like office talk, when it comes to like small talk at work and office politics and all of those things. But see, there's a place for balance. Your colleagues are not your friends. It does not mean you should not be friendly. You need to change strategy. I saw too many people struggle at work, struggle to find a job, struggle to change jobs, struggle to even keep the jobs that they have. A change of strategy is needed. I was once at that place where I felt like I was invisible, unseen, unheard. How am I going to do something differently to change this outcome? Do you know what I did? I got help. I'm still getting help. There are areas of my life where I'm still paying professionals to help me because nobody knows it all. And we all have to start to get comfortable paying for these things. If it means that getting the help you need means you have to make a financial commitment, it's a small price to pay compared to what you lose by not making those changes. I've talked about this boot camp that I attended a couple of years ago on this channel before, that Dr. Adeola Olubamiji, she's at Dr. Adi on Instagram, that she put together. I attended that boot camp and guys, my perspective changed. At that point, I wasn't even looking for a job. I just needed to understand what the path looked like for me from that path on. And guys, I realized that I was shortchanging myself. There were areas where I just said, no, I don't want to be involved in this. And that's exactly what I needed to do. And guess what? I went back to work, approached things differently, and my outcome was different. For some of you, that's what you need. Go and get help. It's okay that you don't know what to do because, navigating the Canadian workplace can be tough. But there is help available. These resources are available. That Dr. Adi's bootcamp put a lot of things in perspective for me, like understanding office politics and the use of office politics. Funny enough, office politics was a topic in one of the courses that I took in school. Office politics was a conversation that we were taught to say, there's a time and place, there's a use for office politics. But what we hear is office politics is bad, run away. So we're at the receiving end. Dr. Adi's bootcamp was very robust in the content, talking about positioning yourself, harnessing your skills, becoming more visible, how you can position yourself to get on high visibility projects. When you're going to promote people, what comes to mind is the people that have been seen and have been heard. If you are just comfortable with being at the back end of things, nobody remembers you. Nobody remembers you when it's time for promotion. Nobody is recommending your name in the rooms that you are not in. And for some of you, that's what you need. You need to get that help. Dr. Adi has another bootcamp that is coming up this coming weekend. I was on Instagram when I saw that she was advertising the flyer, and I'm thinking, I hope people know the value that they're going to be getting by attending this. I would share whatever resources I know will benefit you, even though it will cost you. Yes, let's get comfortable putting our money where our mouth is. If you're looking for value, you're going to pay the price to get value. Dr. Adi has another bootcamp coming up this coming weekend on Saturday and on Sunday. She's going to cover a lot of areas. I would have the flyer in the screen and put more details about the bootcamp in the description box. Go and sign up for that. That might just be a good place for you to start. The timing is perfect. It's the end of the year. You're going to be entering a new year, fresh perspective, and actionable plans. Actionable plans that you will use to follow through on what you hear. It's not just about hearing. It's not just about being gingered and being pumped up for 2 weeks and then it's back to status quo. No. You will be able to get fresh ideas, clear perspective on how you want to approach your career going forward, regardless of where you are. One of the conversations that she's going to be having is talking about sponsorship jobs. So if you're looking for an opportunity where you can land a job where they pay for your sponsorship, that's one of the conversations she's going to be having. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to go and sign up for that bootcamp. I 100% recommend. I have attended that bootcamp twice, and the 2 times it was value for my money. So guys, I just want us to be a little more intentional about 2024. Beyond just all the things that you have talked about, all the things that you have said, all the things that you have said in previous years and the outcome wasn't different. Can we just try a different approach this time and see? For your family, please be more intentional. For those of you who are here who have children, you're going to pay a little more attention to your children, because the kind of stories that we're hearing about, the kind of behaviors that we see in schools, in the school bus, immigrant children now bullying each other, is very, very heartbreaking to hear those things happening in immigrant communities. You can no longer talk about racism if all the bad behavior and all the vices is happening within the same group. We're fighting about not having children labeled improperly in schools. Your child cannot now go to school and be bullying other black kids. I know that this hustle, all of us are looking for money, but at some point you're going to need to take a step back and make sure that this hustle that you're hustling is actually in the best interest of your children. Guys, this video might be all over the place, but it's where my head has been the last 2 days, and I just wanted to come share with you guys to say, look, if we're going to talk, it must be backed up with actions. If you want your career to be different, it has to be backed up with actions. If you want your marriage, your family, everything to be different, your health and your wellness, if you want that to be different, there has to be action to back up the talking. There has to be action to back up the prayer. If not, nothing's going to change. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm here to tell you that 2024 will remain the same as 2023, if not even worse, if you do not do anything consciously to change your patterns, to change your actions, and be more strategic in how you are approaching things in the new year. I just thought I could come share this with you guys today. It's where my head has been. It's a message to me as well. I'm thinking about it too. Like, if 2024 is going to be different, what do I have to do differently? And I'm committing that from time to time, if I find any resources that I think will be beneficial to all of us as a community, I'll come share that with you guys so that we're all winning together. Because at the end of the day, until we're all there, we're not there yet. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please share it to the people that you think will benefit from this. Do well to check the description box to the link to register for Dr. Adi's bootcamp. You're going to learn from that. I can assure you 100%. All the information you need to register would be there. And if you do register, when you get there, please say hi to Dr. Adi from Marina, okay? If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, this will be a great time to hit subscribe. And until I come your way in the next one, it's your girl as always, Marina, saying thank you and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.